I figured I'd show you them rabbits, that way you see at least one good thing in this video. Anyways, that customer, he brought me a hive, I'm going to tan it out and everything, and I try to get out of this junk. And people keep bringing them back to me, and that's okay, he's a good customer, but I'm sure there's some other customers might be mad about seeing this video, I don't know. But regardless, he was at least polite enough to ask me outside of deer season, so ask me during deer season and see what happens. Anyways, this is a buffalo hide. Never have fooled with one before. Have no idea. Never had a job this big, let's put it that way. It does smell a little gutty. Now, he got it from another guy that had it in the freezer for a while. And brought it to me, so we're fixing to give it a go. And I told him it ain't gonna be a soft tan, it's because I ain't got the stuff to thin it with. So, but other than that, we're let's give it a go. It ain't gonna be a soft hide when I'm done, but it will be tanned. And I ain't been into it very long, and I've already seen there's some holes, like here in the tail or whatever. And this is unthawed, but it's still stiff as a board. And I break it open, you can see it's freezer burnt on the inside, so that's not a good thing. And still got some of the tail. Well, it might not have some of the tail left in it. Either way, it's still freezer burnt. That's not a good thing. It's possibly going to cause issues later. Yeah. Well, already running into trouble, ain't we? Okay, here's where we're at about right now. It's a slow go. It's like 11 o'clock. I got up at like 6 this morning, fooling with this. And it's already set all night. So I just come over here and spray it a couple, 3 times an hour and try to move it around, let it set some more. Holy crap, that's a lot of hide froze right there. Definitely ain't like a deer hide. You can just throw in a 5-gallon bucket and 20 minutes later you're ready to go. This is a different ball game. So first flipped overview, that camera ain't doing just the justice of how big that is neither. By the way, this weighs like 70 pounds, okay? Just throwing that out there. And it's awkward, kind of like me, but I don't weigh 70 pounds. All around this high, there's several holes in it from where somebody was skinning it in the past, which that's just part of it. Because I didn't put a knife to this thing yet, and I forgot how many holes I done counted. Okay, little update. I've had to cut so many pieces of hide off just because the freezer burnt so bad. And once again, just a bunch of the holes was already in it. But what I cut the camera on for, I was shaving this, and I hope y'all can see that. But I don't know if y'all see that little bit of shine in there. GoPros ain't good for it close. There you go. That's birdshot. And there's several little specks of it around here. So somebody shot this thing with a shotgun, and like 7.5 shot, sometime while it was living. So this thing had a rough life. Plus the scarring on the back, I don't know what that was from. It didn't look like drag marks, but so I don't know. This thing might not have had the easiest of lives, but we got a whole lot to go. Okay, another tip on fleshing knives and stuff. When you're using a steel on them, most time when you're doing a butcher and stuff, you're just trying to get that edge straight. You know, your edge will roll one way or the other, and all you're doing is just getting it back straight. Well, a straight edge ain't necessarily the best thing on a fleshing knife, because a straight edge will still have a tendency to want to cut into the hide and stuff. So what you do, normally when you use a steel on a knife, for example, like this one, you're going back and forth, and you know, you'll eventually get lighter and lighter strokes because you're trying to keep that edge. You know, you're pushing the edge back and forth, and getting lighter and lighter and lighter until it's straight. Well, you don't necessarily want a straight edge on a fleshing knife, and if you're going to flesh with a knife, you know, you don't necessarily want a straight edge on it neither. So what I tend to do is this is my bevel side right here. Hopefully y'all can see that, the bevel right there. Then this is the flat side. So what I tend to do is I'll get it up there and I'll listen to it, and I'll get it, which I just stilled it, so I'm not going to do it again, but you know, just do it until you can hear it and contact that edge, and then I come back and one good time I hit the flat side, and what that does, it makes that edge curl up just a little bit. And what happens is when you're sitting here fleshing, that edge is actually curled up and it's wanting to get away from the leather, away from the hide, if that makes any sense. So when you're sitting there fleshing everything, it don't want to cut into the leather. It wants to just pull the flesh up from it. Has a tendency to come up. So, I mean, y'all seen how much I've been doing this, and I ain't put a hole in it yet. So, now granted, there's already like 50 holes in it before I started, but that ain't my fault. But either way, hopefully y'all found that helpful and everything. If y'all are going to do some fleshing like that in the future, y'all may be able to use that little tip to help you out. And same thing on your knife. If you're going to flesh with a knife, once again, using this as an example, I'd be going back and forth or whatever, and then finally, if I was going to flesh like this, I'd want that edge to be curled up. So one good last time, I go whack and hit this side, and you actually feel that edge curl over, and then you can come back and flesh with it too and get it off, which I already fleshes, that's why I ain't really getting nothing off of it, but you get the idea. So if you're going to flesh towards you, it needs to be the other way around. But once you learn how to manipulate your edge, you can work some wonders with a knife, let's put it that way. Like I said earlier, this thing had a rough life because this was here before I ever even started. I don't know if it's from fighting other animals or what that is, but that's definitely older stuff. Well, while we're at it, I guess it's a good point to show out the brush side versus, I guess, the unbrushed side, which probably normally what you used to looking at. I mean, when I think of a big old woolly buffalo, I mean, it's kind of what I envision right here as opposed to that, but brushing it we are.